Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of Tess Holliday losing it, responding to negative comments online. Apparently, she's had enough of people saying, if you really loved yourself, you'd take care of yourself, as well as giving her various other lifestyle suggestions, so she goes off on a rant. We're also going to be taking a look at several bonus clips of her promoting her new book, as well as some of the negative reviews that people have written about it, so be sure to stick around until the end. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
You know, if you love yourself, you would take an Ozempic. You know, if you really love yourself, you would stick around to watch your kids grow up, even though one of them is almost 20 and in college, but you would still stick around.
Okay, these are some of the negative comments that you've received.
But if you really loved yourself, you would suck a fart from my butt. But if you really loved yourself, you would lose weight.
Hold on, what was that? If you really loved yourself, you would suck a fart from your butt?
But if you really loved yourself, you would suck a fart from my butt.
How many people have been saying that one to you, Tess?
But if you really loved yourself, you would lose weight. Oh my God, you've doubled in size since I started following you. I just can't believe that you don't love yourself enough to lose weight to make
Okay, it sounds like these comments are really getting to you.
me feel happy and better in my body, so I don't have to go to therapy and I can project all my insecurities and how much I really hate myself, even though I'm not fat anymore, on you. You know, if you really loved yourself, you wouldn't write a book to help children help love themselves, because people that love themselves don't do that.
Any excuse to mention that book, man. If you really loved yourself, you wouldn't write a #1 best-selling book. Available in stores now. Go pick it up immediately. Okay, so these are clearly a lot of the negative comments that you've received, Tess. Luckily, it's not getting to you and you're not completely spiraling or anything.
They don't. They just sit around, staring in a mirror, thinking, wow, you really are something. You know, if you really love yourself, you would just stop eating 50 cheeseburgers a day. But I don't want to stop. I want to eat 50 cheeseburgers.
What the hell is happening?
You're fat. You know, if you really love yourself, you wouldn't even breathe the same air I breathe, because this air is for non-fatties, and you're too fat to breathe this air.
Jesus, Tess, we're spiraling.
And if you really loved yourself, you wouldn't be selling lifetime memberships to the World Obesity Health Epidemic Hotline.
If you really loved yourself, you wouldn't be selling lifetime memberships to the World Obesity Health Epidemic Hotline. The World Obesity Health Epidemic Hotline? What? What?
Because people really want to lose weight, and you are preventing everyone from the entire world from ever losing weight, because you are telling people to be obese.
Is that what people said to you?
And if you really loved yourself, you would probably be happier, but you're not, because you're fat, disgusting.
Oh my goodness, Tess is really spiraling. People said all that crazy stuff to you. If you really loved yourself, you wouldn't give yourself a lifetime membership to the World Health Epidemic Obesity Hotline or whatever. What? That's what I've been saying to people for a long time. I've been saying, you know what? If you really cared about yourself, you wouldn't give in to the World Health Epidemic Obesity Index Hotline or whatever the hell you said. That was my comment that she was responding to. No, I'm just kidding. None of those were mine. But that's funny as hell. She seems to be spiraling in response to these comments. And of course, she had to throw a mention of her book in there, which we're about to watch several clips of her promoting. I love when people are shameless self-promoters and they just don't stop bringing it up. This reminds me of George Foreman and his grill a couple years back. He went on Conan O'Brien, and Conan kept trying to steer the conversation to literally anything else, and George Foreman would be like, yeah, I do have 5 kids, but let me tell you about this grill, Conan. She's doing like the same thing. You're all like this? Hey, how's it going, Tess Holliday? Nice day we're having. Good to see you. It is a nice day we're having. A really nice day to buy my new book and read it. It helps kids deal with body image issues. Yeah, you know, all those clouds and all that type of crap. What? Will you stop talking about this stupid book? Jesus! Now we're going to be taking a look at several clips of her talking about this book. And in a moment, we're going to read a couple of the reviews from people that have read the book.
The first week of Take Up Space, y'all, being on the shelves, and it feels like a freaking dream. It doesn't even feel real. I'm still fully processing it.
It does feel like a dream. I am still screaming and I can't awaken.
I'm so excited to meet you guys in Nashville and in Chicago. I also leave for New York tomorrow to do the Tamron Hall show, and I'm really excited. So, can't believe it.
The Tamron Hall show? I don't know who or what that is. I'm sorry. Why do I have to do that? I'm sure Tamron Hall is going to watch this and be all devastated that my dumb ass didn't know who the hell they were, right? Alright, that was the first clip of her talking about her new book called Take Up Space, y'all, where she preaches body positivity to teens and tweens. What the hell's a tween? I don't know. A tween is like when you're 11 or 12 or something. I don't know. When people ask how I'm so good at being a model, author, and body positivity activist. Have they been asking that? I was looking through your comments. I didn't see any of these comments.
I know the influence, I know the impact, and I know the vibes. And the girlies love the vibes, and that's just what it's about.
Okay. So that's how you're so good at being a model, author, and body positivity activist? Because the girlies love your vibe or something? Okay, so apparently the girlies love the vibes, as it were. I can make anything sound dweeby, bro. Okay, the girlies are feeling the vibes. Next. Alright, here's a clip of her on the Tamron Hall show promoting her new book.
Maher said on his show, the people who talk about healthy at any size have, quote, blood on your hands.
I mean, who's looking to Bill Maher for advice, though?
Get dunked on, Bill Maher.
I'm not.
This lady really resonates with that statement. She's like, yeah, dude, fuck Bill Maher. You're right, actually. You know what? Fuck Bill Maher. The guy next to her, the guy next to her leaned over. This guy right here, he leans over and he's like, actually, yeah, fuck Bill Maher, she's right. And she's like, yeah, fuck that motherfucker. Yeah, I've always hated Bill Maher.
And also, there's so many people in those positions that easily kind of say those things without actually having any knowledge about what they're talking about. So
I hear a lot of groaning in the audience. Hold on now.
Any knowledge about what they're talking about. So I think for me.
Of course that's in here.
You mean to tell me that there's blood on my hands for encouraging folks to love themselves? It's never been about my size.
Well, I think Bill Maher was saying that if you encourage people to be obese, that is bad because obesity is unhealthy and it leads to a lower quality of life as well as a much shortened life for many individuals. I think that's what Bill Maher was on about, Tess Holliday. Although, you know what? Fuck that fool. Fuck Bill Maher, dog. Fuck that fool, dog. Fuck Bill Maher, dog. I love how when she was like, who cares what Bill Maher says? Like the camera showed some random lady in the audience being like, yeah, fuck that idiot.
The world's made it about my size. I haven't.
Okay, so Bill Maher accused her of promoting an unhealthy lifestyle. Her response is basically, yeah, what do you know?
I've just tried to exist and tell others to love themselves as they show up right now.
And we needed you to tell us that or anything like that? I don't understand why we need somebody to tell us to just keep doing what we're doing or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I don't get. Like, who is this book for? It's like, hey, do you feel bad about your body? Well, you shouldn't. Knock it off. Let me give you a free audio-visual version of her book right now. Do you feel bad about a bunch of stuff related to yourself and stuff that you did or didn't accomplish? Knock it off. Okay? Stop feeling bad about stuff. That takes care of that. $20, please. Do you have all sorts of, like, hopes and dreams and you're sad that you're not achieving them? Knock it off, stupid. Just relax. You're fine where you're at. $20. Let's go. Were you about to try all hard and stuff? What are you, an idiot? Knock it off. Kick it. Everybody else is wrong and you're right. You've actually never done anything wrong and you're perfect just the way that you are. $20, please. How many books like that do we need these days? Because that's every other book. How many people are making a living off of telling people, you know what? You're actually dope just the way that you are. We used to have like self-help books that would help people achieve things. Now we have books that tell people to just stay right where you're at. You're good. You're fine just the way that you are. Don't work towards any goals at all. You're perfect the way you are. How many books like that do we need? I'll take 10.
I've never told anybody to lose weight. I've never told anybody to stay fat. I've always just said, love yourself because the world is...
I don't know.
Because the world is a really hard place. And if you can't love yourself where you're at right now, then, babe...
Why did we turn on the applause sign for that? That was not worthy of that. Oh my gosh, hold on.
You can't love yourself where you're at right now, then,
If you can't love yourself where you're at right now, and then the clapping starts. She didn't even finish the statement yet, you seals. Hold on.
Babe.
Babe, she didn't even finish the statement. If you can't love yourself where you're at right now, uproarious applause. I think she's going somewhere with this. I think she's probably going somewhere poignant with this. Oh, wait, no, she didn't. She just said, babes. Damn it. I take that applause back.
Life's gonna be hard.
If you can't love yourself, babe, life's gonna be hard. Oh, that's where she was going with that? I'm taking that back. How dare you lead me into uproarious applause for no reason? That didn't go anywhere. I love how TV audiences have a sign that just says applause, and when it lights up, you go, oh. I was actually in a TV audience once as a job. I got that job through a temp agency. I was an audience member in some Spanish-speaking TV show. I'm not kidding. I don't speak Spanish fluently. I only know a couple words here and there. It was called Buenas Noticias. And a lot of us in the audience did not speak Spanish, so the guy, like whoever the guy on the side was, would coach us when to laugh or when to applaud or whatever. He would look at us and go like, ho, 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 and then we would all go, ha, 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 or he would be like this, and then we would all start applauding, because like a large percentage of us didn't speak Spanish, so we didn't know what the heck the people on the stage were talking about. It was like a variety, like morning show. They had a musical guest and stuff. But anyway, I digress. Let's take a look at the next clip.
I just had my book signing in Nashville. I'm sitting in bed, eating peanut M&Ms.
As you do.
And, well, my hair was so cute. I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out.
I went to that book signing. It was just me and you, Tess. There was nobody else there.
Because my Southern people never let me down. You guys always show up for me.
For me. Is there one video clip of Tess Holliday where she doesn't say, for me?
And I feel so loved. And I've had so much fun in Nashville. I got to eat good biscuits. I went to a honky tonk.
You gotta eat good biscuits in Nashville. Okay, I've never heard anybody else talk about the Nashville biscuits.
Line danced. Went to a drag bar. Had more good food. Saw my aunt. Kiki'd with you guys.
She kiki'd with you guys? What does that mean?
What more could a girl want?
I don't know. As long as we kiki'd, then I guess we're happy, right? What else could a girl want when she's kiki'd? I'm sorry.
A best-selling author? I'm a best-selling author? What?
She won't stop bragging about this book, man. All right, the book that she wrote, Take Up Space, y'all, is a best-selling book in the teen and young adult space, specifically within the categories of self-esteem, mental health, and body image. So when she says she's a best-selling author, she's highly ranked within the category of teen and young adult, specifically within the subcategory of self-esteem, mental health, and body image. So if you go into that very specific category, her book is highly ranked within that category. That's what she actually means. She doesn't mean she's a best-selling author among all these other books, only within that very specific category. I feel like that category is so specific that I could write a book within that space and also be a best-selling author, because there are probably like 2 or 3 books within that very specific category. Now we're going to be taking a look at another bonus clip of her talking about her book.
I think the number one thing I get asked is how I'm so confident.
I thought people told you if you really loved yourself, you'd take care of yourself. If you really loved yourself, you'd take Ozempic, all this other stuff that you just said a moment ago in that video.
How do I deal with bullies? How do I deal with people being mean to me? And the number one thing that I tell people is what other people think of me is not my reality. I put all of that in my book that I have coming out.
That's not my problem. Oh, and here comes the mention of the book, of course.
Called Take Up Space, y'all, that I co-wrote. And I am so proud of this book because it is specifically targeted towards teens and tweens to answer these questions and so many more. One of my favorite parts is I have a chapter, bye-bye frenemies, because who needs those? And
Bye-bye frenemies. Okay, so that's where you teach people how to cut loose their frenemies.
I have a little life advice, and it's like when people are saying stuff to you and it feels icky and you just feel like you can't get away from them, you have to just remind yourself what I said. What someone thinks of me is not my reality, and
what someone thinks of me is not my reality? I would say what somebody thinks of me is not my business. You know, like, that's their personal opinion and it has nothing to do with me, and that's their business. That's how I would word that if I were trying to help people.
I'm not even gonna see these people in a few years, so why do I care what they think?
Also, if somebody is saying negative things to you, that's because they're not living their best life. Even if you're in a very bad way, if somebody's actually happy, they won't give a crap. They'll be too busy living their great life to try to dunk on you. So hopefully that brings some of you solace.
My mom used to say that to me, and it would tick me off. I would be like, but she was right. I don't know them. I don't remember them.
This is the life-changing advice that's in this book.
So many things in this book that I wish I had when I was a teen and tween.
So basically, when people are mean to you, just ignore them.
And I hope that you were able to get it for somebody that you love in your life. You can click the link in my bio. Also, please come see me while I'm out on my book tour, because I'm going to be really sad if I don't get to hug all of you.
Alright, and that was the last video of her promoting her book. Now we're gonna go take a look at a couple of the reviews from people that have read the book. Alright, here's a review from Angelica, spelled the same way as the creator who makes videos in this same space, who I made a video about a long time ago. Is that you, Angelica, leaving this review? It says, Fat Acceptance 101 and promotes unhealthy behaviors. This book is filled with misinformation about weight, genetics, and eating habits. For example, the author claims that 80% of overweight people are overweight because their ancestors survived famines. What? What? See photos. Hold on, let's take a look. This line says, Harvard researchers say that's silly. While habits can impact overall health, body size isn't necessarily a reflection of the habits you have. One guy who runs every day might be bigger and have more fat cells than another guy who's never worked out in his life. Genetics are a thing. You can't always out-habit DNA that tells fat cells to sit tight because they just might be needed. Some folks in bigger bodies descended from ancestors who needed to store fat to stay alive through famines, and those genes swam on down through history and landed in their cells. What? In fact, this is 80% of the reason some people are in bigger bodies. Okay, so I don't know how we're allowed to make such wildly inaccurate and false claims in a book and present it as fact, especially to kids. That's completely insane. We can just make up statistics and feed them to children, no pun intended, and it's fine. The myth is that bigger size equals poor health, bad habits, and a lack of effort. That can be true for some people, but researchers disagree that it's true for all people, and those of us on the sidelines cannot tell the difference between the two. The author leans heavily on so-called experts to give this narrative a sense of credibility, but the arguments feel more ideological than factual. At its core, this book reads like a beginner's guide to fat acceptance, encouraging readers to deflect personal responsibility for their weight and unhealthy eating patterns. I strongly advise against giving this book to teens. Rather than helping them, it risks reinforcing harmful ideas about health, eating, and body image. This is supposed to be a self-help book for teens, but it is littered with random photos of Tess Holliday. God, I love that. And parts of the book are basically an autobiography about her. This book was made to fuel Tess Holliday's ego, not to help the youth. Oh, I love that. So halfway through reading the book, it just starts showing pictures of Tess Holliday, and she starts talking about herself. Here's my trip to Denmark, where I learned all about body positivity. Look at me in this dress. And we're gonna wrap up the video right there. I think it's crazy that this book is being marketed to teens and tweens, and it's full of nonsense statistics like 80% of overweight people are overweight because their ancestors survived a famine. What? If we're gonna teach kids to accept themselves and love themselves no matter what, that's one thing, but to just straight up make up nonsense statistics and give that to them, I think is completely inappropriate. I think it's hilarious that halfway through the book it just becomes an autobiography about Tess Holliday and starts showing several modeling pictures of her. You're flipping through the book. You're like, yeah, so love myself? Okay. No matter what? All right. Oh, there's a full spread of Tess Holliday in the Caribbean. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And more pictures of Tess Holliday. Okay. We're going to get back to the body positivity. It's just all pictures of Tess Holliday. Honestly, that's hilarious. Page 1 is like, you should love yourself no matter what. Pages 2 through 100 are just pictures of Tess Holliday in various locations. That would be hilarious. Either way, what do you think of the clips that we just saw? Leave a comment below. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.